Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well. I've got a middle of the night bonus upload. I'm up late. I'm kind of stressed out. My dad goes into his 5th vascular surgery in 3 years in a couple of hours, 5:30 in the AM Eastern Standard Time. And I can't sleep. I'm stressed out. Started looking at some old encounters, and I found this is one of my very first encounters from across the pond. I had never interviewed anyone from England, and this woman reached out to me with a couple of really terrifying encounters. We were able to connect, and I figured, hey, let's share this again with you guys for a middle of the night bonus upload, because I'm sure there's some insomniacs out there like myself. So before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and the channel membership are in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They all were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to this middle of the night bonus, shall we? JJ, how are you?
I'm nervous, but I'll get there.
All right, there's no reason to be nervous because it's just me and you right now. So it's just our conversation. But can you share with me your experience, please?
As a child, around 4 years old, me, my mum, and my stepdad used to go and stay with their friends who lived right on the outskirts of a forest, near about 50 miles away from where I'm living right now. And this place was in the sticks, and the rooms were small, and I had the bed, and my parents used to sleep on the floor. And whenever I stayed there, I would always be talking in the middle of the night, and I'd tell my mum I was talking to the dog, and the people we were staying with had a dog, so she assumed that I was talking to the dog during the night when I woke up, and didn't think nothing of it until one time we were there, and I was talking at the window with the dog, and my mum happened to wake up and look, and all hell broke loose. That was it. We were out. She woke everyone up screaming, there's something at the window, and she made my stepdad drive us home, and we never went back. I was never allowed to talk about it. And when I used to say to my mum, but you saw the dog at the window, and she said, no, you were dreaming. And I started having nightmares. And eventually I realised that what I was seeing in the window wasn't meant to be that big in the window, that tall. And when I tried to explain to my mum, she's she played it down as though, oh, you were dreaming, that didn't happen. Even though she knew that did, I wasn't allowed to talk about it. That was it. And nightmares for years and years and years. And then I hit my teens, and I went camping. A load of us girls with some group leaders to Thetford Forest. And by this time, I weren't really having as many of the nightmares and didn't give it a thought because we weren't near the house. We weren't too far, but we weren't there. And we were there for about 2 nights. Nothing happened. We had quite a good time camping. Third night, I could hear somebody calling me, but I was asleep, but I woke up thinking someone was calling me. And I didn't realise how long I'd been asleep, so I literally just shut my eyes. So I crawl out of my sleeping bag and out of the tent and stand up and walk straight into a Dogman.
And you said that you smelled a smell. Can you describe the smell?
The dirtiest wet dog smell you've ever smelled in your life, with something that I can't describe. I've never smelled it before, so I don't know how to refer to it. But maybe a tad rotten meat kind of. Yeah, I'd say more a bit sort of bad meat, bad off.
So
bad odor.
Bad meat, like decaying meat, and rotten meat and wet dog.
When you really, I wouldn't say rotten, but when it's just turned and that's going off, like if you've got fresh chicken and that gets a bit too warm, that smells a bit funny.
Yeah, okay.
And you know it's not right. You know what I mean? There was that off. That's the only way I just, you know what I mean? Like when something's turning rancid.
Right, yeah.
That's about it. But it was, I walked into a hairy brick wall. That's the only thing I can say, and it stunk. And the only thing I saw was dark, brown, black fur, hair, dog fur. Thick, coarse, it felt scratchy like a moustache. Like when you kiss your dad with a beard, that itchy feeling on your face, that's what it felt like to me. Like thinking about it.
And you were 16 or 15 or 16 at the time. So I mean you weren't like a small child, but how tall would you say this thing was? Like when you hit it, you obviously hit.
I'm only 5'2" tall now. So I'd have probably been about 5 foot at the time, and I would say the top of my head would have come to its ribs, bottom of its ribs, like the indentation in front of the ribs, that area.
So it's about 7 or 8 feet then, somewhere around there.
That was big. And I'm half asleep. I stand up and there's a smell. I open my eyes and literally as I'm taking a step and I open my eyes and bang, that's it. I hit something and I froze. And every hair on my body stood up and I knew it was bad. Something was bad. And I can just remember screaming and hitting the floor. That was it. The next thing I remember, I'm in the mess tent, the big group tent, on a table with everyone around me. The police are there, and I don't know how the hell they got there, but it turns out when I screamed, one of the girls in my tent had woken when I got out of the tent, and I screamed. She dived to the, jumped up and come out of the tent and was in the tent doorway to see the thing bending down to pick me up, and she screamed, and it ran. And she's the only thing that I ever got out of her in a way of a description was an Alsatian on steroids. That is all she would say. Her parents stopped her from talking to me that day because obviously we're in the middle of the woods, the police are there, our families all get called to come and collect us, they want to clear the campsite. The police asked me what I saw, and I told them, and they said, "Are you sure you weren't dreaming?" And that weren't one of the male group leaders. And I said, "Well, he would admit that was him. Someone trying to scare us, that was Harry." And they all tried to make out that I was having a bad dream. They would never admit what I saw was what, but then they spoke more to my parents at the time because in England, under the age of 18, you're classed as a minor, so they will talk to your parents rather than talk to you. From that day on, I've never gone in the woods, never gone near a group of trees. I live right in the middle of a city centre in a housing estate. The nearest trees are like 5 miles, 10 miles from where I live, depending on which ones you go to. That's it. I want to stay in my concrete jungle rather than the green jungle, thank you.
Right. Now, you said that the dog that you were talking to as a child, the way you described it, almost like a Doberman Pinscher's ears and like a Rottweiler body, like this just huge body, but with the cropped ears, right?
Growing up, one of my uncles had a Doberman that was crossed with a Rottweiler, and it had the head of a Doberman but the body of a Rottweiler, and it was a massive beast, but it was as soft as jelly. It was the sweetest dog ever, and that's what it looked like to me. But then I don't know if my 4-year-old head associated it with that being, thinking that was my uncle's dog at the window. As a 4-year-old, you don't have a very rational way of thinking. But I just remember that one night. In my head, I know I did it. I can remember it, but I can't picture it. But the only time I can picture me talking at the window was the night my mum screamed. Because that's etched in my memory. That suddenly turned something to me that seemed so innocent. I was talking to a dog at the window into a nightmare. Never being allowed to talk about it, but having these bad dreams, but never being allowed to talk about it. It festered inside, and then obviously all these nightmares got worse and worse. And then even when I was older, like 8, 9, 10, and having these nightmares, if I said in front of the rest of my family what my nightmares were, I was just a complete laughing stock. I was the butt of everybody's jokes. Did you hear about her and the wolf up the window? That kind of attitude, so tunnel vision. Reality doesn't exist out of that tunnel for them. But for people who've seen it and for people who've actually touched one of these things, there's a reality that you don't know how to understand because it shouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Why me? Why was it calling my name? What is it about me? Was it wanted me as a 4-year-old, and I was like unfinished business as a 15, 16-year-old?
Yeah. Well,
It's just, you know, I'm a hell of a lot older now, and I still don't want to go in the woods. I still don't want to go camping, just in case I am unfinished business. I've got children. I've got grandchildren. I want to be around to see them grow up. I don't want to be a missing person.
I can't blame you. I mean, nobody does. Nobody really does. I don't think there is an answer of why they choose who they choose. I don't think, I mean, a lot of people feel like they are haunted by these creatures. I don't know why it called your name that night. And just so everyone knows, it was not verbally calling her name. She woke up.
Oh, no. It was in my head. You know, when you're asleep and somebody's calling your name, because you're not awake, you're not hearing it in your ears, but you are hearing it, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
I could hear somebody calling my name, and the moment I started to stir, it didn't say, my name wasn't spoken again, which is why I thought that was one of the group leaders could see that I was leaving in the tent and didn't want to call out anymore, so I didn't wake the rest of the girls up. Or he didn't, the group leader, and that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I wish that was. At least that wouldn't have given me nightmares.
Yeah, that's...
Even now, I cannot go near a big dog. I will cross the road.
And you still won't go near the woods at all, which is, I mean...
No, definitely not.
But you're completely fascinated. Like I've said before, people after, with my encounter, a lot of people become obsessed with finding the answer. And JJ shared with me that she just wants to know, you can't get enough information, it seems.
I've not brought up enough courage to look into Dogman. It's enough for me to listen to Jeff's channel. That's information enough for me. I have a fascination with Bigfoot. That's a cryptid that then led me to Dogman, which made me realise I weren't crazy as a child. I really did see what I saw. My mum verified I did see what I saw eventually, just before she died. And the reason why she said that she never verified it truly with me up until that point is because, one, she thought when I was younger, I couldn't handle it. And then 6 months after the camping incident, a very traumatic ordeal happened to me, and I had enough to deal with that without having to deal with talking to my mum about the Dogman.
Right.
Basically, what happened to me took precedence over the Dogman issue. It was worse.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yep. So.
And after that ordeal, I was offered therapy, and I never believed in it as such, thinking how is talking to a stranger going to make things any better, because things that I was taught as ways of coping mechanisms, I found I could use to help me cope with my Dogman encounter and the issues that I've been having from that. I haven't had a nightmare for 6 years. But I have a sleeping tablet ready so that I don't have one tonight. I shouldn't laugh, but it's my nerves. I I am absolutely horrified. I'm sitting here shaking. And I know I'm safe. I've got my 2 little dogs. Well, 3 if you count the other one, but that's lazy and just doesn't do nothing. But I've got 2 little yappy guard dogs and a lazy lump. And I'm right in the middle of a built-up area. I mean, there's no way on God's earth one of them could get to me here without being seen way before that got to me. Way before that got to me.
Right. Well, you certainly have had, you know, this is exactly why so many children, people have seen it as a child, suppress it because, you know, they tell their parents, and their parents are just like, no. Your mom saw it, and she really didn't want to, you know, have any repercussions.
I would say my mum, even though she saw it, to talk about it would make it real.
Yeah.
And if she didn't talk about it, then it wasn't real, so she didn't have to deal with it. Because if my mum didn't know how to deal with it, how was she meant to help me deal with it? If we didn't talk about it, there was nothing to deal with.
Right. Absolutely.
I just, you know, I wish my mum was about so that I could ask her, but she's not. And there's questions that you'll never get the answer to with this. Why me? That's my biggest question. Why me?
And I think that's a question that everybody who has an encounter asks, and I don't think anybody will ever get that answer. You know, it's just a...
There was 11 other girls there camping. There was 12 girls in total, and it picked me out. It knew my name. How? Did I, as a child, tell the one at the window my name?
Maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I should have that regression therapy back to when I was 4 years old and see what I did do. But then that would probably bring all the nightmares back again.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your encounter with all of us. I really do. It means a lot to me and to everyone else. I hope it's therapeutic to get it out there. And
well, you are the first person apart from my mum who knows the whole story.
And it answers a couple of questions that I've been kicking around, because there's a subscriber that I have, and this person I have talked, and he made contact with it physically as well, like you. And he described the feeling of its hair almost like very coarse, almost like a pine tree coarseness, like very sharp and prickly. And the second you said, like, when you hug your dad or something with a beard, you know, that instantly brought back that memory for me that I was discussing with another subscriber. And to be honest, I hope that hearing you share that encounter, maybe he can, you know, think about his encounter a little more, because he has this encounter that it's really haunting him. and it's very haunting. I still have nightmares periodically, not every night, but periodically, maybe once every couple of months, about the night that I saw what I saw. And, it was, I'll wake up and just look around my room and make sure that I'm still in my room. But I think we all will, have these nightmares for the rest of our lives, because it's just how society treats everything. Like, everything, these don't exist. They don't exist. It was your imagination. And so we're made to suppress them. And then the reality just stays locked away in the back of our brain and tortures us. So I think that's where these nightmares come from.
As a young teenage girl, to have the police blatantly lie to my face when I've always been brought up to tell the truth,
right.
For them to blatantly lie it to me and tell me I was dreaming, didn't see it, nothing exists, like that. I have trust issues.
Yeah.
It don't matter who is. I have trust issues because everybody lies. And why can't people just be honest? You've seen it. Everybody knows they exist. Too many people have seen them. Too many people have had run-ins. Too many things have happened in other countries with creatures just like this. So how can they not exist? How can people's lives be of so little value that the truth cannot be told? We are all equal. We are born with nothing and we go with nothing. What is the power struggle? Why can't the powers that be in every country acknowledge exactly what is going on? Because we all deserve to be safe.
I agree.
What about all the young families that goes to the woods, the forest, where this happened twice? It is the same forest, but different ends of. But families go there, they camp there. They go there for the day to just walk in the woods. Why are we not told? And why is it when I say what I saw, people say I'm nuts? I'm the crazy one. I'm the crank. It's just not on. I've always been brought up to tell the truth, and I tell the truth. And sometimes I tell the truth, and I don't give a damn about people's feelings as I tell the truth, because the truth is what it is.
I agree.
And that's what we all deserve.
You're absolutely right. They need to come out and let us know what the heck is going on. And I don't see it coming in the near future for some reason. I'd like it to, but I think they have a sneaky way of letting us know that they exist, but it's just overlooked, so.
Well, I hope that people listening to this know that in England, Scotland, Wales, because they're all connected, they are here. They exist. They are real. They are so goddamn real. They are real. Just always remember, if you've got little kids, buy one of those doggy lead things that go round the kiddie's wrist and you help the other side end so that they can't run off. Because one day you're going to go without something like that and you're going to come back with the biggest heartbreak you've ever had in your life. I was lucky. My friend screamed and that stopped that thing from picking me up. What was it going to do with me? That could be your child. That could be your grandchild. Just be safe and be aware. I don't know what else to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on today, and thank you for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it, and Would you like to say goodbye to everybody before we end the recording?
Yeah, everybody, please, just remember they do exist. Just be safe. Knowledge is power. That's what I've always been told. So read up, research the areas you're going. Don't just go blind. Make sure you take some provisions of some sort for everybody that's there in case somebody gets hurt. Just be safe. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, folks and fellow insomniacs who are joining me at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed this long, kind of lost interview with JJ. Really interesting. When I found it, I was just looking through older interviews and I was like, wow, I completely forgot about this one. There are a lot of hidden gems in my video catalog. I cannot believe how many uploads I have put out. And the support from you guys is truly amazing. You guys are you truly are the foundation of this platform, the heart of this channel. The gratitude and respect I have for all of you is just immense. So thank you. Thank you so much. And with that being said, please everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, our pets, our family, and friends. For real, these creatures are out there. They are real. They are dangerous. Share a little bit of information, that same information that we share here with each other on a daily basis, with those you love and care about, and it may just save one of their lives someday. Until earlier in the day, God bless you all.